Welcome to the Financial Wellness Academy, educating and empowering you to master your money so that you can live the life that you desire. My name is Caitriona from the Financial Wellness Academy, and in today's vlog, I'd like to explore the idea with you of why you should still invest even if you've got debt. We've been chatting about debt over the last couple of vlogs, and it's provided some interesting feedback, and it is something that a lot of people sadly experience. And what I want to do in this week's vlog is really give some balance to that which has gone before. So, if you are someone who is in the space of having debt, I want to inject some light and hope into the situation that you're currently experiencing. And I share this with you from a place of personal experience of this. So, having experienced very high levels of debt back in 2015, and really thinking that there was no light at the end of the tunnel, was I ever going to get to the bottom of this debt and sort it out? And it was through guidance from my mentor at the time around investing and around putting in place something which was able to balance out the feelings that were I was experiencing around debt. And that was to dip my toe in the water of investing. Now, at that time, I had a background in banking. I was exposed to investment products on a regular basis, but they were pre-prepared products. They were generally quite expensive and they had high charges, and the returns were mediocre. So I dipped my toe in the water as I started to learn more about index trackers. I started to learn more about platforms that were available that I could invest automatically on each month. And despite not having a huge amount of cash, I took the money I had, which was €20 at the time when I was living in Ireland, and I set up a standing order for that amount to go in every month to an investment platform. As I look back, the platform I chose was not great. The investments that I chose at the time were fine, but they weren't as good as the ones that I found since. But it was a key step to exploring investments, exploring platforms, exploring the power of having a set amount every month going away and going into an investment which did its own thing. It didn't need me overseeing it, tweaking it, playing around with it. I just set and forget. And over a very short period of time, I started to realize that this amount of money, the small amount that I had put aside, was starting to accumulate and grow faster than I ever thought possible. And the magical thing was that I didn't have any huge involvement in this. So I was taking care of my kids full time at that time and also generating a small amount of cash. So I didn't have the time to fiddle with this. But it really opened my eyes as to how this whole world worked. And it was totally new to me, despite the investment background that I had. I had never come across this type of offering and how it worked with little input from me. So, if you're somebody who currently is struggling with debt and really feels that it is an endless cycle, is this ever going to come to an end? I would encourage you to start to explore this. So, whatever country you're based in, have a Google as to what investment platforms are available to you. Look at the reviews. Be very careful on your due diligence on anything that you explore when it comes to money, whether it's a loan, whether it's credit card, whether it's investing. Make sure that you are very thorough in your due diligence, because there are sadly a lot of companies and people out there taking advantage of individuals. So make sure that you get maybe a recommendation from family and friends. You look at the reviews online that are available for that particular product, service, offering, platform, etc. And make sure you're 100% satisfied. If you have the slightest niggle on any of those fronts, I wouldn't proceed, because often our gut instinct is on the money. And if something seems too good to be true, quite often it is because it usually is. So make sure you take time before you take any steps with this to carry out extreme due diligence where it comes to your money. You have worked hard for your money and you want to make sure that it is going somewhere that you can fully trust. So be very thorough in your due diligence before exploring this. But I will say, in terms of how it balances light, brings the light to the debt and the heaviness that you can have around that. And it is nothing short of magical in my experience. It brings a whole new light to money and to another world and a way that it is managed there. And as I started that journey with the very small amount of €20, over a very short period, that amount grew to a much larger amount of 50% of our income. And that was by taking care of what was coming in and out of the account, paying a lot more attention to what was going on in our money. So the very simple action of setting up a monthly standing order on my account to go from my account to the investment platform and set that up automatically to invest in the index trackers, it was life-changing. And it's a regular occurrence where I have conversations with clients who have gone through, set this up, going through tough times and want to cancel it. And my suggestion is always in this: don't cancel it. If you cancel it, it gets wiped off your radar. If you can at all possible, drop it right down to the minimum, but keep it on your radar so that it's going out and you see it every month. And when you get back to a better place and you can increase it back up to the amount or beyond where you had before, then great. But once you delete it, it's gone from your awareness and it's less likely to be reinstated. So that's something that I have learned personally through experience and seeing what happens with clients when they experience difficulties, is to reduce it down to the minimum as opposed to cancel it, and that you will see a difference with that. So that's my thoughts on investing versus debt and how those balance out, and my own personal experience of that. Love to hear your thoughts and comments on this, so feel free to connect and share those with us, whether it's a Facebook group or the comments below. That would be amazing. And have fun with exploring investing. It's an amazing world. There are lots of opportunities out there, but do tread carefully and do your due diligence as well. Thank you for listening and see you next.